Greetings, people. It's week 2. Time for the injury review, preview, update, overview. The thing we like to do every Saturday at FootballDiehards.com. I'm Bob Harris, senior editor here. Like to get you up to speed. Remember, everything I'm going to talk about here is to get it on your radar. Things will change from the time I record this up through kickoff, so check the headline up, the late-breaking updates section of the site. Also, check the staff rankings. You'll find links to all the latest information and corresponding moves. So if somebody's ruled out after we talk, they'll be down at the bottom of the rankings. Also, check out Casey Joyner's latest injury report / sit-em stardom. Very useful information there. Brad Cruz, sit-em stardom. Tons of stuff on the site, of course, as always. But let's dive into the injuries. I always like to do these chronologically so you kind of have an idea of what kind of fallback plans you might need. If the early afternoon kickoffs, you have players there, you need to know who you need in the later games, and same with the late games. Do you have pivots, Monday night, Sunday night, all those things. So let's get rolling. The Las Vegas Raiders are in Pittsburgh, and they'll go up against the Steelers without Josh Jacobs. He's been ruled out with toe and ankle injuries. Marcus Mariota also ruled out of this game. If you saw his one really great run, they were planning to use him more. Now they're not. He's going to be out until at least October. Jacobs, though, this week, Kenyon Drake moves up, will be the starter. John Gruden talking about Peyton Barber's role, that he'll have more opportunities. I don't know how many. To me, it's still hard to play him, but Kenyon Drake gets to start with Josh Jacobs out the side of the ball. Everyone is good to go. Eric Ebron came off the injury report. The San Francisco 49ers are at Philadelphia. Raheem Mostert, season-ending injury he suffered last year. Elijah Mitchell, the rookie 7th-rounder, 6th-round pick, came in and fared really well. He looks like the starter this week. Trey Sermon sounds like he will be in the mix. He was a surprise scratch last week. Has apparently practiced with more intensity this week. I expect him to be active, but for now, we rank Elijah Mitchell as a running back 2, and that's probably the default position until we find out otherwise going forward. In addition to there, Brandon Ayuk didn't get a target last week. Trent Sherfield kind of moved ahead of him. The hamstring was a bit of an issue, maybe some practice issues for him as well. Kyle Shanahan says he's not in the doghouse. We'll find out in Sunday at Philadelphia. Cleveland Browns hosting the Houston Texans. Odell Beckham ruled out for a second straight week. Last week was the 90 minutes before kickoff, so at least we have a little advance notice here. Donovan Peoples-Jones, the second-year receiver, gets the start. He only had 1 target last week. Anthony Schwartz, the speedy rookie, came in. He got 5 targets. He is questionable this week with a knee issue. That's something to watch. On the other side of the ball, Pharaoh Brown, the tight end, questionable with ankle and shoulder injuries. Tyrod Taylor goes back, revenge game. Or some sorts. He was there for a little while in Cleveland, so there you have it. But he'll have an opportunity against one of his former teams this week playing for the Texans. Miami hosting Buffalo. Will Fuller ruled out for a personal matter. Last week was a suspension, finishing out a 2-game suspension, 1 game last year, 1 game this year. We knew that was coming week 1. Didn't see this one coming. He was on the practice field Wednesday, did not practice Thursday, wasn't there Friday. Brian Flores says he'll be back soon, but this will be one to watch. Preston Williams listed as questionable. Missed the first game with a foot injury. This dates back to last year, so it's been an ongoing thing. Assume Jalen Waddle and Devontae Parker are the top of that receiving hierarchy and the playable options, until further notice, until at least Will Fuller comes back. We'll see about Preston Williams. On the other side of the ball, Gabriel Davis listed as questionable with an ankle issue. Seems likely to play, worked on a limited basis all week, but that's one you'll have to watch. Josh Allen's fared really well against the Dolphins in recent years, so I understand people wanting to get a piece of that action. Indianapolis Colts hosting the Los Angeles Rams. I just dated myself, right? Michael Pittman Jr. and Paris Campbell both turned up on Friday's injury report. Questionable. Pittman with an ankle, Campbell an abdominal issue. That usually means like a hernia kind of issue, so that's one to watch. People showing up in the injury report on Friday is never a good thing when they practice the 2 previous days, so that's one to watch. If not, we'll see guys like, Zach Pascal caught the 2 touchdowns last week from Carson Wentz, but others will have to move up in the rotation too. Ashton Dulin, and Michael Strawn, a big physical player there. Maybe the tight ends will get a little more run too. Jack Doyle and Mo Alley Cox. On the other side of the ball, everyone's good to go for the Rams, so should be an interesting game. Some defensive issues. Quentin Nelson's back on the offensive line, but some defensive issues this week. Darius Leonard beat up. Xavier Rhodes still ailing, so we'll see how this one plays out. Chicago Bears taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's see. Darnell Mooney and Marquise Goodwin both listed as questionable for this one. Mooney with the same back issue he played through last week. Goodwin, a quad injury, probably suffered last week. Both played reasonably well. It wasn't high-end offensive output for the passing attack. Maybe a better matchup this week for the Bengals against the Bengals. On the other side of the ball, everyone's good to go. No issues for the Bengals. On the offensive side of the ball, Jamison Crowder and Keelan Cole for the Jets going up against the New England Patriots. Both listed as questionable. Crowder's coming off the COVID reserve list. Picked up a groin issue on Thursday, so that's something to watch. Keelan Cole, questionable with the same knee issue that he had last week, that sidelined him last week. Both these guys are in for a tough matchup against the Patriots, who tend to have a really good history against rookie quarterback Zach Wilson. Corey Davis will remain at the tip of the spear there as their receiving threats. And Elijah Moore, the rookie wide receiver there, wasn't all that impressive in the opener. We'll see if Crowder and Cole mix in what Moore's role will be, at least for the short term. On the other side of the ball, Jonnu Smith listed as questionable with a hip issue. It seems likely to play. And at kicker, it'll be Nick Folk again. Quinn Norton, the rookie, looks like he's going on IR. So the Denver Broncos, the last one at Jacksonville. Jerry Jeudy's out with an ankle injury. He'll miss 4 to 6 weeks. He's 6 weeks. He's on IR, so that's one that they'll replace him with a combination. Tim Patrick probably move into his role, and maybe see a little more KJ Hamler in this one as well. Late afternoon kickoffs, Rashad Petty and Dwayne Eskridge for the Seahawks, both listed as doubtful. Don't expect to play. Eskridge, bad concussion. Penny has a calf injury, might keep him out for a little while. Alex Collins seems likely to move up in that number 2 role. That's something you'll have to watch behind Chris Carson. On the other side of the ball, Anthony Ferkser listed as questionable with a knee issue. Wasn't a big role for him. If he's not there, they have Jeff Swain, they have Michael Pruitt. So Ferkser doesn't look like he's going to turn into a high-end commodity at this point, but we'll see. Sunday Night Football. Marquise Brown and Devin Duvernay for the Baltimore Ravens, both listed as questionable, ankle and groin respectively. Brown, this is something that if you've invested in him in the past, you've come to realize this is going to be a weekly thing. He doesn't practice all the time. He gets listed as questionable. He plays as usual. Since it's a Sunday night kickoff, you'll want to be careful. Have a pivot either in that game or Monday night to go to if there's a last minute scratch or a surprise scratch. Also, again, watch the late breaking update section of the site. I generally have reports overnight on Saturday into early Sunday morning about the anticipated outcomes from some of the national insiders. So watch for that as well. Monday Night Football, DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. The injury report isn't out yet. Watch the main page of the site for that. They've been limited this week. Deuce Staley said on Friday he expects both of them to play. Tyrell Williams has been ruled out of this game already, though, with concussion. Dan Campbell announced Saturday morning that he will not play. So there you have it. Go ahead and hit the website again. Watch the late breaking updates section. That'll get you up to speed on everything you need to know that you haven't heard, or check the staff rankings. Another great way for a all-in-one stop to find the latest updates on all the players you're interested in. Just scroll down, look for them, do a search in your browser on that page, and find your player and see what the latest information is. If they're at the bottom of the rankings, they're there for a reason, right? So, especially if players normally aren't. So watch for that. And check out all the latest information. Again, we have Casey Joyner's little sit-start injury report. Comes in on Friday. Really good information there. Brad Cruz, one of the best high-stakes players in the land, gives his sit-starts, the Sunday edition. He also does the Thursday edition. Tons of DFS content. Jamie Calandro has his DFS tournament stacks and his DraftKings cash plays. John Lobbs, the scholar sheet of DraftBooks knowledge. My own DFS 3 and out. Justin Linero's digging in the crates for some of the cheaper plays. Tons of content. Drew Phelps now doing prop bet info on the site, so check all that out, and we'll see you here next week, and good luck. Again, check the website. Listen in on Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio too. I'm on the pregame show 11 to 1. We'll have a live video on the site also with Jamie and Jason Brady talking DFS a little earlier in the morning. Tons of content. Check it out, footballdiehards.com, and good luck this week. We'll see you next week.